back. Another week. We're getting close to the end, so we're getting ready to get started in a few minutes. I really hope that these sessions have been helping you throughout your journey. I really hope that you all, each and every week, you're taking these things and you're stacking them on top of each other. You're stacking them on top of each other so you can build and gain some momentum and finish this semester off strong. All right, so we're gonna wait a few more minutes, and we're gonna wait maybe about another minute, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started with this week's session, live cast session, which is how to be productive during winter and summer breaks. All right, so hold on for a second, and we are gonna get started soon. We're gonna get a little arts and craftsy for you today. All right, so today's gonna be fun. Do a little bit more arts and craft and have some fun for today. Okay. All right, about to get started. All right. Well, welcome to another week of the Office Hours Livecast. I'm so glad that you decided to continuously stay on this journey each and every week. You just continuously growing, continuously making things happen, continuously learning, getting this knowledge in your head so you can use this to gain more momentum and finish off the semester strong, which is the whole reason why you're going through this, right? If you made it, if you're watching this video and you made it this far into the program, I congratulate you. So many people, so many students are going to take things and they're not going to really give their complete full focus attention and give their all into something. Even just think about even looking at college, right? People were paying thousands of dollars to be in school are still skipping classes, still not going, still dropping out, knowing you have to pay the money anyway. So for the fact that you made the investment in this program to join it each and every week, and you're sticking it out, you're thugging it out, you may not be able to get to every single idea, every single strategy that I gave you in each of the videos. The good thing is that you're at least you're learning, you're getting the cognitive knowledge, right? You're learning it, and then as you continue to revisit these videos, revisit each and every one of them, you may find yourself at certain points in time where you want to you find that, okay, at this point in time, I need to find a way how to get my resume straight. So then you go back to the resume video. You know what? At this point in my life, I want to look at going Greek. So what do I really need to do to go Greek again? Go back to the video we talked about going Greek. You know what I'm saying? Like I just need to be able to get my grades straight. So what do I have to do with that again? Like I'm falling behind in a couple classes. Go back to the video about the classes. Financial aid. I'm worried about the amount of money that I'm gonna get for financial aid. So what do I need to do? Go back to the video. So there's gonna be different points of your life, different points of your college, your college journey, where you're gonna have to go back to these different videos. You're gonna have to watch it 2, 3, 4, 5 times until you get it. There's been times where I've revisited books that I haven't looked at in weeks, months or years, or videos I haven't looked back in years, and then as I go back and I'm looking like, oh, all right, that makes sense, or months, right? Oh, okay, that makes sense. It's something I didn't notice, because every time you listen to something at some point in time, you may listen to one video, you might watch this video today, right? But then, maybe a year from now, you realize like, okay, I really got to step it up. Like I'm a senior now, and I got to get these internships. I need to figure out what I got to do. then you'll come back and you'll revisit this video, because how I'm doing it in these videos I'm giving you universal concepts that are going to be timeless. So you want to make sure that once you come back, you might not revisit this for another 4, 6 months, maybe another year, maybe 2 years later, right? But the strategies that I'm giving you now are going to be timeless. So I think that's important. Maybe you didn't need the pep talk today. You know, you didn't need this little word because you're like, all right, Terrell, listen, I got it. I understand. I know what I need to do. But, you know, for some people, you know, you really need to hear that, because it's important that you understand that this is going to pay off. You continuously stay on the journey, and that, you know, your learning is going to continue to increase as your confidence increases, and you start watching these things, and then you start going out, you start doing more. It's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be the best, but you're going to learn a little bit more as you do it. Then you're going to be, how did I do this again? Then you're going to come back to the videos, watch it, implement a little something different, get better. And that's how you continue to grow and continue to get better throughout not only your school career, right, your school tenure, right, but also how you get better in life as well when you're learning skills and trying to do new things. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to get started with this week's training. Not five, but what are the ways? How can you be productive during summer and winter breaks? Now, this is a great one. This is a great one because typically we think about, you know, once you're going on a break, yo, I'm done, I'm happy, I'm throwing my hands up in the air. I don't hear nothing about school, right? I don't hear nothing about college. I don't hear nothing about classes. I've been grinding, I've been going hard, you know, finals, everything, right? So once you think about summer, you think about not doing anything else. Well, summer is a good time to have a lot of fun. It really is. But I also want you to realize that don't mean you just jump off the deep end like, listen, I'm done, I don't want nothing to do with school or whatever, because usually during the summer, that's the best opportunity for you to start getting more of your professional development in line. Because sometimes it could be a little bit harder when, you know, you're in school, you know, you grind it out, you got all these classes, you might not necessarily be able to fit some things in that could help develop and grow yourself professionally while you're in college. And that's the reason why so many students say, I don't know, Terrell, why I can't get a job once I graduate. Why is it so hard and nobody's hiring? Well, the reason is, and you're not attractive enough to them, is because you haven't utilized your time to the best of your ability. You haven't utilized your time to where during your winter and during your summer breaks that you could have been developing yourself. You get what I'm saying? So it's important that you're using this time effectively, not just to have fun, party, turn up, drink, not just do those things, which is cool. Enjoy it. It's hot outside, barbecues, turn up. You know, I understand summer jam is coming up, so I know there's a lot of things that's going on, right? But you got to make sure that you also get your business done too, because sometimes during the year is hard. So what are some of these ways to help you be a little bit more productive during summer, winter breaks? It might not sound like the sexiest thing, like, oh, I can't wait to be more productive during my winter and summer break, right? It might not sound like the sexiest thing in the world, but it's necessary. You get what I'm saying? So what are some ways? So I'm going to give you 3 ways today in order to do that, right? So we're going to have some fun because we're going to do a little bit of arts and craft today, all right? And I'm going to write it out, the things that you need to do for the winter and summer breaks. All right, so for the first one, what do you think it is? What do you really think it is? What is it going to take for you to really be, for you to really make this winter or summer coming up for you more productive? Now, right now, you know, at the time of recording this, right now we're going into the summer, right? So that is a little bit more extended than the winter break, but going into your break, what's the real thing that you got to do first? And I guarantee it's not what you think is going to be. I guarantee it's not going to be what you think is going to be, okay? And one of the things that I want you to think about as you starting off first to be more productive, I want you to have more focus, right? I want you to have more focus. So what does that really look like? Focus. Make sure you say that again, right? Have more focus. So what does that really look like? That looks like you really changing your mindset, because as you're going into the summer, we all have a mindset, right? Or, you know, especially me, as I was going through school, the mindset was, it's summer, I don't want to deal with school anymore. I don't want to have to think about it. I put in my work already. My bid is done. I'm out and I'm having fun. And right now, you gotta start thinking about, okay, what can I do in order to still be able to enjoy myself and do everything, but also be able to allocate just a little piece of time towards making sure that I grow myself professionally. What is a little bit of what's something that I can do, so by the time I graduate and I'm walking across that stage and I'm happy and you proud and I did this, and now you're not just walking in, you know, you walking off this, you walking off the stage, but then you walking into your mother's house and you walking into your grandmother's house, and then now it's like all the fun, all the excitement, you know, all the hype, all the praise, all the money that you was getting, everything now is gone. Now what? What you gotta do? Now is reality. Now you gotta look back and be like, oh, okay, well, what can I do? Is there any jobs out there? Right. Let me start looking for some jobs. You get what I'm saying? You want to have that mindset. You want to have that focused mindset from, okay, what can I do to best optimize my summer or best optimize my winter break, so by the time I graduate, I'm already set up. So, you know, we're going to talk about a little bit more things, but the first thing I want you to have is, like, you got to have the mindset before anything, because I could tell you, all right, you could do A, B, C, and you'll do this throughout the summer, do this throughout your breaks, your winter breaks, and listen, you're going to be straight. But you'll have that, but then you won't go out and actually do it, you know, because either you don't feel like, you know, you have the capability to do it, you feel like you don't have the time to do it, you know, you feel like you're going to put in all of this work and your summer's just going to be wasted, and then now you got to wait a whole 365 days, right, for the summer to come right back around, right? So it could be a bunch of reasons why you don't feel like you can do it, or you feel like you want to do it, but so that's why it's always important to always have the mindset first. See, I had a good mentor, and his name was Anthony Robbins, right? And he said that success is 80% psychology, 20% mechanics. So what does that really mean? That means that anything that you want to be successful at, it really has to do with 80% of how you're thinking, 80% of your attitude, your psychology, right? And then the 20% is just actually doing it. So what does that mean? Like, the 20% is you just actually, you know, you actually getting online. You actually looking at, okay, what can I do this summer to build my skills? You actually, you know, doing certain things that's going to say, all right, this is how I'm going to be able to develop myself. So that's very important. So make sure that you're focused, you're doing what you need to do from that aspect, because you have to understand in your mind that it's not just going to be all play for the summer. Don't go and play for 24 hours, or, you know, just say, all right, it's summer, I'm just going to work, I'm just going to get this money, and then when I get this money, I'm just going, you know, splurging on clothes, shopping, trips, vacation. All that stuff is fine, but you got to take some time. Even, and I'm not even saying it has to be every day, because I understand you want to work and you probably want to get some money, so it don't even have to be every day. But let's just say maybe twice a week, maybe 2-3 times a week, you work on building yourself professionally. And we're going to get, and that's actually going to take us into the very second thing is, all right, after you got the mentality like, okay, I know right now, you know, I know right now that I got to take advantage of my summer the right way. So what is that? Okay, so what does that entail? So I want you to have that mindset first. I want you to have that focused mindset. Then the second thing is, once you have that mindset, right, then I want you to say, okay, so what does that really look like? What does that look like me doing? All right, I'm ready, but what I got to do? Second thing I want you to do is internships, right? Do internships. And that looks like you going out and making it happen. You get what I'm saying? I mean, I need you to go all out. And preferably it's good that you do it like around now, like before you get to the end of the semester, before finals and before all of that. That's the best time to do it, is really now, or probably a little bit early in the semester, but it's fine. At the time that you're seeing this, right, you know, assuming that you didn't, you know, watch this video, you know, months later, or assuming that you're watching it in the order that it was released to you, that you are that this is a good time for you to do it. You know what I'm saying? So what does that really look like, you being able to go out and get internships? Well, one, let me just debunk a myth for you right now, if you didn't already know. You do not need the school to help you get internships. I'm gonna say that one more again. You do not need the school to help you get some internships. What internships are, all they are is people that's out in the industry in whatever fields. They say, hey, we have a spot, we could probably use some help. Hey, matter of fact, this is what we're gonna do. Let's go out and let's go find some colleges that has students that's looking to gain some experience. Some internships are paid, some are not paid. And then they say, okay, well, let's reach out to these colleges and let's maybe put some flyers in there. Okay, let's reach out to the colleges and let's put something on their website. And they do that type of thing. And then, so when you go to the career office, or you looking online, you're like, oh, there's some internships available. That is how it's done. But you don't really need to skip the middle. You don't really need the middleman. You get what I'm saying? Like, really, colleges and schools are the middlemen when it comes to internships. So you can go directly to companies. Actually, you can create your own internships depending on if you got the gift of the gab, right? If you can talk, or whatever the case is, if you can position it in a certain way. And if that's something that you're interested in, like, how do I approach these companies? How do I approach, organizations that's doing things that in my field, but I want to get an internship with them. I'll be more than happy to help you with that afterwards. But the main idea behind it all is make sure that you go in and you searching these internships. So you can search for these online. And if you want, and we talked about this in the previous video, but you could look at things online, look at websites. You could do internships in, pretty much every field. So make sure you're doing that type of thing, or even better is even just locally, because I know you may be, your school is in one place, but for the summer, you're going back to where you live, right? You might live in New York or Cali or, Miami, Ohio, wherever the case is, right? You might be looking back, you live in some of those states, but you go to school somewhere else, right? So once you go home, you want to look at it where it's at in your hometown. So go home, or I would just even say, if you could spend a weekend or a few days going back to your hometown before the semester ends, right? So let's say if it's now and the semester's getting ready to end, spend a few days going back to your old hometown, well, where you live, where you're from, and then see what companies are around there, and then go in there, talk to the manager, try to get them, say, hey, I'm coming home for winter break, I'm coming home for the summer, I'm gonna be out here for just a couple months, and what I want to do is I want to be able to, to help you. I'm looking to get A, B, and C experience. So, how can we, is there a way that I could come, is there a way I could come in, is there a way I could shadow somebody or do anything like that? Because the goal is for you to be able to set that up. And if they say yes, or you're going to talk to somebody, or get back to me later, or send me an email, or write me up something, whatever the case is, make sure you do that, because you want to be able to use your summer wisely. You want to be productive this summer. Like I said, you don't want to graduate and then realize, like, oh, I can't get a job. I don't understand. Nobody's hiring. How can people expect me? There's no excuses. At the end of the day, it's done. People have done it. I've done it. There's people that before you that's doing it. So there's no excuse. You can do it. It's just about you putting in the initiative to go out and to make it happen. So internships is a very big thing when it comes to the summer, because you have time. Internships are usually start at a certain time and end at a certain time, a couple weeks, couple months, whatever the case is. But that's the main thing. So that's number 2. You want to make sure that you are getting internships for the summer. Grind, make it happen. I don't care if you got to find something online. I don't care if you got to, you got to do your internship over the phone. If you could work it out like that. I don't care if you got to, you go into, your local bank. You go in your local YMCA, Boys and Girls Club. Your local, engineering company. Your local, science foundation. Whatever the case is, whatever your major is. Just get an internship this summer. You're going to thank me by the time you graduate. Because the earlier you watching this, And the earlier you get in the internship, the more you're gonna get it. So imagine if you got 1 or 2 internships per summer, right? Usually people get 1. Let's just say 1. So you get 1. So imagine if you a sophomore right now, right? You get 1, 2, you get 1 you get 1 your sophomore year, you get 1 your junior year, right? And maybe you might get lucky, and let's just say you got 1 your senior year, but maybe usually seniors you graduate in the spring semester, so you really can't do it in the summer, but you could probably do it throughout the year. Let's say if you get 3 internships, you're gonna be great by the time you graduate. And that's gonna bring us into the third thing, because once you start getting those internships, right, you focus, you ready. All right, listen, I know this summer I gotta get some type of internship, so let me grind now. Once you got those 2 things into play, now you're getting some momentum, and then now you could get number 3, which is really gonna just put all of this stuff together for you, so you'll be very happy that people are throwing themselves, companies are throwing themselves at you for you by the time you graduate, right? And the number 3 is you're gonna do this. You're going to build your resume. Build your resume. And I don't even know if this is backwards based on how this is showing, but even if it is, I just want you to know this is build resume. That's what it's saying. So build resume. And building your resume, that's what the whole point of this is, right? So internship is just one piece of how you can build your resume. So you're looking at, okay, this is putting everything together for you. So now you're looking at, I have to build my resume. So internships is one thing, but you might take like a little online certification class, right? Like, let's say for me, I'm in the cybersecurity field. So, anybody that's, doing any kind of engineering, to anybody taking up computer science, computer technology, information technology, now they're coming out with the cybersecurity major at certain schools. So for me, one of the important things, my field, and you have to know what your field is, right? You got to know about what are industries looking for. In my field, I know one of the main things they're looking for outside of you having a degree to get in, they're also looking for you to have certifications, right? So you got to, so for my field, one of the main things is the Security Plus certification, which is like the baseline level of, okay, about cybersecurity on a fundamental level. But then you also got the CISSP certification, which is saying, all right, you got this. You are like one of the top cybersecurity professionals, period, if you're able to get this certification, right? So for me, so if I know that and I'm going through school and I know, all right, I want to be, I want to go into this cybersecurity field, then you got to understand, like, all right, what certifications are they looking for? So for me, I would have done it earlier while I was in undergrad. I would have been like, oh, okay, I would have had it before I even graduated, and I would have came out making even more money than I was already making, because I graduated making $60K a year straight out of college, right? Which is more money than my mother and father's income combined at the time. So I mean, I was happy, I was feeling pretty good. But imagine had I been able to get that instead of, because I really just got my Security Plus, and I've been in the field for going on almost maybe about 8 years, like 8 solid years in like cybersecurity, learning about it, being a part of it. And I just got mine last year, what I'm saying, my Security Plus, and now I'm working on my CISSP certification. But just imagine had I got that 8 years, imagine if 8 years ago I would have been able to get this certification. Do you know how much farther I would be right now if I was able to do that? So it's important. It's important that you start building your resume. So everything that you could do, from internships, which you already talked about, to to take online classes, online certifications, to doing, you can, join any kind of organizations, join some, you might be in a fraternity, you might join a sorority that does different things. You can do, collaborations with companies and collaborations with other nonprofits. You can do, you can do maybe your own kind of self-study, your own kind of research, because you got to know what are the hot topics that's within your within your fields. So although you may not have like a certification, like for me, if I want to be a programmer, right, that can be, let's say within my field, I say, all right, well, I want to be a programmer. Well, I might not have a certification, but I can say, okay, well, I can do some research online, right? Maybe take like a little free course or something, or watch something on YouTube, and I could be like, okay, well, on a conceptual level, that'd be enough for me to put this on my resume. And if they ask me about it, I could talk to them about it. You could put like what you're competent in. What do you know? What are your computer skills, right? If that was the case. And then once you get into a place where they asking you about it, let's say if you have a recruiter talking to you, if a job reaches out and they say, hey, I see that you put down that you have some conceptual knowledge about, the C++ programming language. Okay, can you tell me about that? Have you had any experience? For me, I would be like, no, I don't have any experience in it, but I have done some study, I have done some self-study on it, so I understand the basics of it, I understand X, Y, Z. So that is the type of conversations that you want to get. And really, the name of the game when it comes to just putting things in your resume and building your resume, the name of the game is really making sure that the keywords that you put inside your resume come up when employers are looking at it. Like there's no more just having you bringing in your resume to people and they're looking at it. They don't have time. There's so many people now, so many people that they have to look through, so many people applying for things. They don't have time for it now. Now all they're doing is saying, hey, is your resume in Monster? Is your resume in Indeed? Is your resume in Dice.com? Is your resume in Simply Hired? And as you upload your resume, all the employers are doing is this. Click, 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 click. Oh, okay. We want these keywords for whatever this profession is. Okay, we want this keyword. We want this keyword. They might have like 5-10 keywords, and the only thing that they're ever gonna pull up when it comes to when it comes to whatever that profession is the keywords that they put in the keywords that they put in the software that they have. That's the only thing that's gonna come up. So then the next logical question is, so somebody says, all right, okay, Terrell, so if they're only going to use certain keywords for my resume to come up and be seen, then how are they going to find my resume? Like, how am I going to know what keywords they're using? Because, I want my resume to be found, right? So, but how do I figure out what those keywords are? How you figure it out is by going to that job description, whatever you want to do, whatever profession is by going to that job description and then looking at some of the things that they want. It might be a language. It might be, it might be, a certain type of experience. It's just really going to be you just reading through it and then sort of deciphering and figuring out, okay, this is basically what they're looking for. And if you're not really sure what they're looking for, even if you're looking at the job description, maybe find maybe like two other resumes, two other job descriptions, and then look at both of them and see, okay, which one, what are some of the cross references, what are some of the things that they have similar between both of these job descriptions, and then use those as keywords to use within your resume. All right, so hopefully that helped. All right, and I'll recap it for you. If you want to make the most of this and be the most productive during your summer and during your running breaks, you got to make sure that you're ultimately focused. You got to have that mindset of, all right, this summer I'm gonna at least do one internship. Like you just got to at least say I'm gonna at least do one internship. But you got to have that mindset, because if not, you'll forget about it. You'll do something else. You get a job, then you'll just start doing everything else, and then you'll look back like, oh, I didn't do anything good this summer, like really productive this summer. You know what I'm saying? So that's important. All right, then number two, make sure that you are getting the internships. Do what you got to do to get those internships. Talk to people, go online, hustle, email, call people, do all that stuff, all right, to get the internships. And then number three is to make sure that you just continuously building your resume. The internship, just the internships, that's just one piece. That's just one piece of it. But you still could do a bunch of other things to build your resume as well. Make sure it's looking good, formatting, and all that stuff. And if you don't remember when we talked about it, go back to the episode, go back to the live cast that we did for internships, and that will be able to help you. All right, so that's what we have for today. I appreciate you for continuously staying here, continuously grinding, continuously, just making an effort. Hopefully you here taking notes so you can always look back through it and just just keep stepping up, and you're gonna notice that by the time you graduate, you're gonna look around and you're gonna realize that you're a lot further than where you thought you were gonna be. You're gonna look around and you're gonna realize, hey, I'm doing pretty good, but my friend over here is struggling. Or why are these people having so much problems? And you're gonna realize that it's because you decided to challenge yourself. You decided to say, you know what, I'm gonna take control of my life again, and I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna go out there and I'm all this time, all this energy, and all this stress, and all of this time me staying up late and grinding, and having to keep calling my parents to try to pay for these loans and fast food, and all of this finally paid off because now I graduated and I'm in the career of my dreams. All right, so with that being said, I love you. I'm glad I'm here supporting you each and every step of the way. I'm here to hold your hand and help you. You just continue to stay on the path no matter how hard it is. This is something that you said that you wanted, and you can make it happen. All right, so until next time, I want you to continue to stay focused, and I see you on the next week's very last live cast. All right, so see you soon.